اتكلمنا في unit 6 عن الانرجي، وعرفنا ان الانرجي can be transferred from the energy store to the surrounding, can be transferred in the form of heat, sound, or movement, or light. In unit 7 we will talk about the light. The light is a type of energy transfer. It is transferred from some devices like the mobile phone. The energy from the mobile phone transferred in the form of light, from the TV, from the candle, from the fire. All these things we have energy transferred in the form of light. معايا صباح؟
أيوة.
تمام. صوتك واطي أوي، مش عارفة ليه. الصوت بعيدة أو في حاجة مختلفة المرة دي، مش عارفة. صوتك واطي جدا.
لا هو كويس.
طيب انت سامعاني كويس؟ صوتي أنا كويس؟
أيوة.
طيب تمام. يبقى we see in light as an energy transfer. It comes from one store to another, like when the light come out from these devices, as I said, from the mobile, the TV, and so on. He give us an example, the flashlight. In the flashlight, the energy is transferred from the cell. The flashlight works or run by the battery or by the cell. So the energy stored inside the flashlight is the cell or the battery, and it transferred from the cell to the lamp. The lamp distributes the light or emits the light. يبقى the lamp is the source of light. يبقى the lamp in the flashlight is the source of light that emit the light to us. Okay?
Okay.
And this light energy that come out from the lamp is transferred to the surrounding. So now we are talking about the energy, or we are continuing the energy that we take in unit 6. That the lamp will transfer the energy to the surrounding in the form of light. So we can see the objects around us. As light, surroundings as light, we can observe the energy as it transfers. We can observe only the energy when it transfers from one object to another, or from one store to another, like the energy transferred from the battery inside the flashlight to the lamp, and then from the lamp to the surrounding in the form of light, and the light helps us to see everything around us. Okay?
Okay.
In activity 1 here, we create a concept map about the light. This is a map that shows us the light and the things that related to the light. So the light is a type of energy. According to the amount of the light that come from the device or the thing, we can say that it is bright or dim. If the device, like the flashlight as an example, emits a big amount of light, so it will give us a bright light. A light which is bright, very bright. We can see the things clearly. When the light is bright, we can see everything around us clearly. When the amount of light that is emitted from the flashlight is a small amount, so it's dim. Dim when the amount of the light energy that come out from the device is small, so everything around us is not very clear. عارفه الموبايل فون برضه بيبقى فيه برايتنس كده. عارفه البرايتنس نقدر نعليها ونوطيها في السكرين بتاعت الموبايل فون.
أيوة.
مش احنا ساعات نعلي البرايتنس قوي، ساعات نقللها اكتر شويه، في زي النايت مود لما بنقلل البرايتنس خالص على الاخر. according to عارفاها في الموبايل صح؟
أيوة.
Okay. يبقى according to the amount of the light, we can say that the light is bright or dim. If it is bright, so the amount of the light is big and we can see everything clearly. If it is dim, the amount of light energy is small and we can't see very clear. This is the first arrow here from the light. The second one is the source of light. We have two different sources of light. The source of light may be natural and may be artificial.
It's artificial.
Yes.
خدتها في المدرسة.
Yes, okay. What is can you give me example for a natural resource of light?
Sun.
The sun.
Fire.
Yes, okay. يبقى sun or fire is a natural resource. Natural means that it's present in nature. It's present around us in nature, like the sun. The human don't make it. It's present already in nature, like the sun, like the fire. All these things are a natural resource. Artificial resources are the resources that the man made, like the flashlight, the
Yes.
lamp,
Lamp,
candle. Yes, all these.
mobile phone.
Yes, mobile phone. Yes, very good. All these things, the man made it, so it's artificial. The natural things, the things that are present in nature, the God made it. Okay, so this is the second arrow about the source of light. This is the energy transfer. The energy transfer of the light come from the cell. In the case of the flashlight, if we are talking about the flashlight, the energy transfer from the cell to the lamp, and the lamp transfer the light to the surrounding. So the flashlight here is energy store. The cell is the energy store that transfers energy to the lamp, and then from the lamp to the surrounding in the form of light. This is a concept map about light. We put the light in the center here, and then we talk about everything about it. Different things about brightness with them, about the source of light, about the transfer, and so on. Okay. Hi, Sabah. Hi, Sabah.
أيوة.
Okay. In activity 2, we will talk about the natural light sources and the artificial light sources. Discuss this picture. We have here the fireworks, the moon, street light, mirror, sun, diamonds, and northern lights. Which objects in the pictures are light sources?
Light sources.
Oh.
Like northern lights, diamonds, sun, street lights, moon, fireworks.
Okay, let's talk about that. The light source is a thing that can emit its own light. Anything can give out its own light, give light from itself. Is a light.
Sun.
Eh?
Sun.
Sun, yes, very good. So the light source may be like the sun. And the northern light is also a light source. Okay. What else is a light source?
Northern lights.
Yes, the northern light. What else? The street light and the fireworks. All these are light sources because they emit their own light. Why the moon is not a light source?
Why the what?
Moon. The moon is not a light
because
source.
the sun shines to the moon.
Okay, the moon doesn't produce a light or doesn't emit a light. The moon doesn't give out any light. It reflects the sunlight. So it appears that it has light, but it doesn't have light. So we can see the moon because it reflects the light that comes from the sun. But the moon itself is not a light resource. The same as the mirror. Do the mirror a light resource? Is a light resource?
Mirror, light resource? No.
No, the mirror is not light source. Why? Because it doesn't emit light. It only reflects the light around, but it doesn't give out its own light. Okay. Question B, which is the most important light source? What do you think, Saba?
Sun.
The sun. Why?
The what?
Why the sun is the most important light source?
Because without it, you cannot see in the morning.
Yes. And there is another reason.
Because it gives the food for plants.
Yes. It's the source of energy. Yes, baby. Without the sun, there is no life on Earth. The sun gives the light energy to the plant to make the photosynthesis. And then all the consumers depend on the plant as a source of food. So if there is no sun, there is no life on Earth. So the sun is the most important light source. Okay.
Most important thing in the world.
Eh?
It is the most important thing
Yes.
in the world.
Yes, yes, very good. It's the most important. Question C, copy and complete the table with the light source in the picture. Can you sort them to the natural and the artificial light sources?
The sun is natural resource, moon, diamonds, and northern lights.
Diamond is not a light source. Diamonds are
It's
not a light source.
artificial.
No, it's not even an artificial source. It's not light source. It doesn't emit light. Do the diamond emit light?
No,
No,
and
it
also
doesn't.
the moon.
And also the moons, they are not sources. The only sources that we have is the sun, fireworks,
And the northern lights.
eh?
Northern lights.
Yes, these are the light sources only. These four: the sun, northern light, fireworks, street lights. These are light sources. Moon, mirror, diamonds are not light sources. We want to sort these four to natural and artificial.
Okay. The sun is natural.
Yes.
The street is artificial.
Okay.
Artificial.
Okay.
And this is natural.
Okay. So I have northern lights with sun are natural. Fireworks display, street lights are artificial.
Yes.
Okay. Let's continue the next page. Brighter and dimmer. Now we will talk about brighter, how the light is brighter. Sometimes it's brighter and sometimes it's dimmer. So he tells us here that some light sources are dimmer than others. We found that some sources are dim and other sources are bright. A night light is usually dimmer. A night light is the light that we turn it on when we are sleeping. Do you know it's the night light?
Yes.
زي السهرية، عارفة السهرية اللي بنولعها للأطفال الصغيرين في الأوض عشان مثلا لما يجوا يناموا النور بيبقى خفيف خالص كده، بيبقى dim light. يبقى a night light is usually dimmer than a reading light. The reading light is the light that we turn it on when we are reading. So in the case of reading, we want a light that is bright so we can read the book. And when we are sleeping, we want a light which is always dimmer or dim. Dim because we don't want a bright light. We want to sleep. It's only a dim light for the kids. This could be because less energy is being transferred. What makes the light dim and what makes it bright? When the amount of the energy transfer is small, so the light will be dim. And when there is a big energy or the energy transfer is big, the light will be bright. So this could be because less energy is being transferred from the lamp to the surrounding. When the energy is small or the energy transfer from the lamp to the surrounding is small, so the light will be dim. When the energy transferred from the lamp to the surrounding is big, so the light will be bright. Okay?
Okay.
We can see it when the flashlight, its batteries begin to run out. So the light will be dim. The light start to be dim and it's still dim until the batteries run out and then it turns off. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. The store of energy could be smaller. The store of energy that present in the lamp could be small or contain small amount of energy, so the light become dim. Lots of energy could be wasted. Or maybe this flashlight has a big amount of energy that is wasted in a form other than light. So this makes the light become dimmer. Okay? But when we have a flashlight which is not efficient, there is a big amount of wasted energy. When we have a big amount of wasted energy, so the light will be dim, or the light that is produced will be dim. So let's look at another way that same light sources appear to be dimmer than us. Now we will talk about dimmer and brighter light, but in this activity. Okay?
Okay.
Here we have two girls, each one has a flashlight in her hand, and they are standing in a different distances. Here it stands away from the wall, and this girl stands near the wall. So in activity 1, discuss this question with a partner. How does distance affect the brightness of a light source? How could you find out? This is the question that we are talking about. The two girls are standing, each one in a different distance. This girl stands away or from a big distance from the wall, and this girl stands near the wall. What is the difference between the light that is emitted from the flashlight in the two cases, Saba?
The one that stands near the walls, the light is so small. The one that stands far away from the wall, the light is big.
Okay, you are talking about the circle. The size
Yes.
of the circle of the light. Yes, the flashlight make a circle of light on the wall. Here, when the girl stand near the wall, the light make a small circle of light, and the girl that stand away from the wall, the light make a big circle of light. What about the brightness? Which one has a bright light and which one has a dim light?
Bright is the one who stands far away.
Is brighter?
No, the one that stands near it's bright, and the one stands far is not
Yes.
bright.
So the girls that stand away from the wall, the light that come out from the flashlight is dimmer, while the girls that stay near to the wall, the light that come out from the flashlight is brighter. Okay. So the first question we have, this question may help you. What will you change to make this experiment? What we will change?
What to change?
Now we are examining the brightness of the light. We make two things difference between these two girls. What is the difference between them? The change
There is a mirror in the boy's hands.
it's not a mirror, it is a light meter. It is a device called light meter. It measures the brightness of the light. So it's not a mirror. He bought it here to measure the brightness of the light that come out from the flashlight. What's the difference between the two girls in the factors of the experiment? The distance.
The distance, yes.
Yes. What we will change, we change the distance. The girl that this girl that wear red t-shirt is staying from staying far from the wall. There is a big distance between the girl and the wall. So that we change it here between the two girls is the distance from the wall. This one that wear red t-shirt stay away from the wall, and the girls that wear a pink t-shirt stay near the wall. So the thing that we change between these two girls is the distance. Okay, what will you observe happening? What is what's the observation about the light they have?
This is bright and this is not bright.
Yes, this girl, the girl in the red t-shirt, the light come out from the flashlight in a dimmer, it's more dim, and the light come from the girl that has pink t-shirt. The light is more bright because it is near the wall, and the second girl is far from the wall. Question 3: do you need to be safe with anything during making this experiment? Is there a precaution or things that you may make to stay safe?
Yes.
What are the things?
When you are doing a fire.
When you're doing this experiment like the girls here.
Okay. Actually, no.
There is no precautions?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's safe experiment. There is the thing not to look directly to the light source. It may harm our eyes. This is the only thing that we can see. Okay, so not to look directly to the light source or to the flashlight directly because it may harm our eyes. Okay, question B. Before you carry out your test, read activity 2 below about what class 4 did and what they used. Okay, so we will go to the activity 2. As he said, class 4 investigated how distance affects the brightness of light source. They make experiment or investigation to show or to know how the distance affects the brightness of the light. They made the room dark. The first thing that they do, they made the room dark. Why they make the room dark? They will make an experiment by using 2 identical flashlights with new batteries, pale colored wall, light meter ruler. They will make this experiment again. Okay, so they start by making the room dark. Why they make the room dark?
Why they make a room dark? To see their experiment clearly?
Yes, very good. To see the light that come out from the flashlight clearly, to determine which one is dimmer and which one is brighter. So they make the room dark. Is it safe to make the room dark?
Yes.
Okay, it's safe, but we have not to run in the dark room to avoid hitting each other in the dark room. Okay,
Yes.
question B. They used 2 flashlights. Why do they use 2 flashlights?
To see who is bright and who's
Yes, who is dimmer. يبقى to
who's the
make, yes, to make a comparison between the 2 flashlights when they stand in different distance. One of them will stand from a big distance from the wall, and the other will stand near the wall. Then they will compare between the lights that come out from the flashlight to determine which one is dimmer and which one is brighter. Question C. They measured the distance from the flashlight to the wall. Why do you measure the distance?
also because they measured the distance to see who is dimmer and who is bright.
Yes, and to know the distance, and so they can make a pattern to know if they stay, as an example, if they stay 10 centimeter away from the wall, and then they measure the brightness using the light meter. Then they stand 20 centimeter from the wall, and then they will measure the brightness by the light meter, and then they will stand 30 centimeter and so on. So they have to measure the distance so they can make the experiment fair. To make it a fair test, we have to measure the distance so the experiment can be accurate by measuring everything. Okay, D, why did they measure brightness with light meter?
What?
Why they measure the brightness with light meter? These things in the boy hand, this one is a device called light meter. This light meter measures the brightness and the brightness of the light, if it is dim or it is bright. So it is a device measures the brightness of the light. Why do they use this light meter?
Also to see who's bright and who's dim.
Yes, and to make
all the
accurate.
questions have dimmer.
A.
Questions كلها عن الدimmer أو bright.
Yes, كمان to make it accurate, to be sure that the results are accurate. We can recognize the dim light and the bright light with our eyes, but when we measure it with the light meter, we can make it accurate, accurate results.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll talk about how the light travels from the light source. He tells us here that you have explored light traveling outwards from a light source. We see the light come out from different light sources, like the flashlight, like the sun, like the candle. All these things we can see the light traveling from. You found a pattern between the distance from the light source and the brightness. Now we know that as we move away or the distance increase from the wall, the brightness decreased, as we see in the last page. معايا صبا؟
أيوة.
Okay. We found the pattern between the distance and the light source. When the distance is small, so the light will be more bright. When the distance is big, the light will be more dim. So this is the pattern between the distance and the light source brightness. We can do other inquiries to find out light travels. Okay. Okay. We can do other inquiries to find out how light travels. But we can see this in this activity. You will need very bright flashlight, paper, pencil, sticky tape. This is the tools that we need to make this activity. A, stick the paper on the wall, shine the flashlight onto the paper, draw around the light shining on the paper. So what we will make the same here as this experiment, but the thing that is different that here we will stick a paper on the wall. Then we will turn on the flashlight and our partner will draw a circle around the circle that is formed from the light here. Can you see? You will draw this circle by a pencil. And in this case also we will draw a circle with the pencil. معايا يا صبا؟
أيوة.
stick the paper on the wall, shine the flashlight into the paper, draw around the light shining on the paper. So we will draw around the circle that is formed on the wall. B, predict what will happen if you move the flashlight further away from the wall. What will happen if we move the flashlight further away, if we increase the distance? What will happen to this circle, Saba?
It will be
here, like in this one. If we start as this girl and we draw a circle here, then we move.
dimmer.
The light become dimmer, yes. And what happened to the circle?
The circle will then increase.
Yes, will be bigger. The circle will be bigger in size. This one have a small circle and this one have a big circle. So the size of the circle will be increased. Okay. C, what pattern can you describe between the two variables, distance of flashlight from the wall and size of the circle? Can you recognize or say a pattern about the distance of the flashlight from the wall and the size of the light circle?
If we make it further, the circle will be bigger and it will be dimmer.
Yes, very good. But when the distance increases from the flashlight to the wall, the size of the circle will be increased, the light will be dimmer. And when the distance decreased between the flashlight and the wall, the light become brighter and the circle becomes smaller. Okay. D, have you carried out a field test or a research inquiry here?
Field test.
Field test. And another one. There is another inquiry here also.
Another what?
Another inquiry. Science inquiry activity here. Other than the field test.
Researching?
No. Pattern seeking. Now we found a pattern between the distance and the light. And as the distance increases, the light becomes dimmer and the circle on the wall become bigger. And as the distance decreases, the light becomes brighter and the circle on the wall becomes smaller. So it is a pattern. So we can say that we carried out a pattern seeking inquiry activity. Okay? Okay. This is activity 1. Activity 2, class 4 carried out a similar test. Here are their results. They make this activity, class 4 make this activity, and they represent it in a data here, like this. They have here variable change here, the distance of the flashlight from the wall. This is the distance that they stand away from the wall. When they stand 1 meter away from the wall, the size of the light circle, the circle that is found on the wall, was 10 centimeters. This is the size of the circle that's formed on the wall. And when they stand 2 meters away from the wall, the circle that is formed, its size was 15 centimeters. And when they stayed 3 meters away from the wall, the circle size become 20 centimeters. And when they stay 4 meters away from the wall, the circle size become 25 centimeters. Okay, so they make the same experiment and they represent it in this table. So we can see the relationship or the pattern between the distance from the wall and the size of the light circle. Okay? Okay. A, draw a bar chart or dot plot of their data. I will show with you this bar chart. خليكي معايا. شايفة سكرين يا صبا؟
Yeah.
Okay. This is the bar chart. This one is the bar chart. It shows the relationship between the distance of the flashlight from the wall here in this one and the size of the circle of the light in centimeters. When the distance was 1 meter, the size of the circle was 10 centimeters. When the distance was 2 meters away from the wall, the size of the circle becomes 15 centimeters. And when the distance from the wall was 3 meters, the size of the circle was 20 centimeters. And when the distance was 4 meters, the size of the circle become 25 centimeters. This is a bar chart. And this is a plot. This is a plot, dot plot. And this is the dot plot. It is the same. We have the same data. It makes to us the same thing. So the second question that we have, do they have the same pattern as you? Do the pattern here is similar to the pattern that we said in activity 1?
Yes.
Yes, that it's the same pattern that as the distance increases here, when it increased from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 meters, we found that the circle that is formed in the wall, its size also increases and the light become dimmer. And when the distance decreases from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, we found that the size of the circle also will be decreased and the light will become brighter. Okay, question C, predict the size of the circle if class 4 move the flashlight to 5 meters away from the wall. If we moved 5 meters, if we stayed here 5 meters away from the wall. Okay, if we make another one and we write here 5, so we stayed 5 meters away from the wall. Can you predict the size of the circle?
30. It will be 30.
Yes, very good. So the size of the circle that formed on the wall will be 30 centimeters here. Yes, very good. So this light circle will be increased to 30 centimeters and the light become dimmer or become brighter?
dimmer.
Dimmer, yes, the light will become dim. So the same thing here. If we write it in the dot plot here, if we write here 5 meter, so the circle, the size of the circle will be reach 30 centimeters. So we can make like this, dots like that in the dot plot. Okay, Sawa?
Okay.
Understand the two charts, the dot plot and
Yes.
the. Okay. نبرج. Okay, so we answered C, predict the sun. Okay, we answered C. D, what does this tell you about light? Make notes. Can you make notes about the light from this experiment? To give me some notes.
The homework يعني
لا،
ولا دلوقتي؟
دلوقتي قولي. لا قولي دلوقتي احنا مع بعض.
To see who's dimmer, when we to see when we are far away from the wall, the light will be dimmer, and if we closer to the wall, it will be brighter.
Yes, very good. This is some things about the light. طب، افتح معاكي الورك بوك. خليكي معايا دقيقة. عرفتي حاجة عن مواعيد رمضان يا سما؟ المدرسة هتخرجوا الساعة كام؟ هتخرجوا الساعة كام في رمضان؟
المدرسة ايه؟
مواعيد رمضان.
لا لسه ما نعرفش، بس احنا اللي نعرفه ان احنا هنقعد 3 أسابيع في رمضان.
تقعديهم أجازة؟
لا انا هنروح المدرسة.
3 أسابيع بس والأسبوع الأخير أجازة صح؟
مع ال3 أيام بتوع 10 أيام يعني أجازة بتوع الأسبوع الأخير وال3 أيام بتوع العيد.
لكن المواعيد نفسها
لكن
مش.
أول 3 أسابيع عادي في المدرسة.
تمام، لكن أنا قصدي على المواعيد يعني هتخرجوا الساعة كام أو كده اللي هي اليومية يعني مش.
لسه ما نعرفش.
بس تمام خلاص. طيب يلا خليني أشير معاكي الخطوة. We want to